If you don't have these 5 pages on your SaaS website, then you're leaving a lot of easy revenue on the table. I've used some of these pages to grow my own SaaS business from zero to over £1 million in revenue. And big brands like Klaviyo and ClickUp are using them to generate hundreds of thousands of pounds every month with no ad spend. So I'm going to show you what these 5 pages are, how they generate consistent SaaS leads, and most importantly, how much revenue they make. Number 1 is competitor alternative pages. And I love these pages because if you're a small business competing with well-known brands, they're a great way to piggyback on the awareness that those brands have already built. ClickUp have created this Notion alternatives page, which brings in 2,000 monthly visitors. And even with the most conservative estimates, at least £500,000 in added customer lifetime value, which is insane for a single page. And the content isn't exactly rocket science. It's simply a list of alternative products with ClickUp positioned as the best solution. Content marketing doesn't really get any easier than that. These pages work so well because they target people who are already using a competing product. And right now they're looking to switch to something better. That means the buying intent is very high. So a useful comparison guide can rank in Google, get cited by ChatGPT, and drive a steady stream of conversions. But this isn't something that only works for big brands. I've recently helped a small SaaS product called Monster Math to create one of these pages, and it's already ranking highly in Google and bringing in a steady flow of customers for them. Page 2 is best of lists, and if you've ever browsed the internet before in your life, you've probably seen them before. They are simply lists comparing the best products in your space, like this best proposal software page from GetAccept. It attracts around 1,500 monthly visitors and is likely generating at least £360,000 in added LTV. And all they're doing here is listing 8 of the best tools in the space, and as you may have guessed, putting themselves in at number 1. These pages are big revenue drivers because the person searching for this has already decided that they're going to buy a solution. They're not asking whether they need proposal software, they're asking which one should they choose. A well-researched piece that honestly explains your product's advantages will rank highly in Google, AI search, and drive a steady stream of conversions. I've actually just created one of these for my SaaS SEO agency, and despite the site being relatively new, it's already ranking for SaaS SEO agency, which is a pretty competitive keyword. Page 3 is competitor comparison pages, and these are direct head-to-head comparisons between your own product and another solution in the space. Klaviyo has created this MailChimp versus Klaviyo page, and it attracts around 800 visitors every month and is probably worth just under £500,000 in added customer LTV. These pages target people who have already shortlisted a few tools, so they're right at the point of making that buying decision, and they're just looking for a bit of help to separate the final contenders. And that's what makes these visitors so valuable, because they're often just one decision away from signing up. The key here is to be honest. Explain where each product is strong, where it's weak, and who it's best suited for. Because if your comparison page claims that you're better at absolutely everything, then nobody's going to believe it. Not Google, not ChatGPT, and certainly not your users. Page 4 is industry landing pages, and these are pages that combine your product with an industry that you serve. Zoho has built this CRM page for recruitment agencies. It attracts around 1,200 visitors every month and is probably worth more than £270,000 in customer LTV. Not too bad for what is really quite a simple landing page. The reason that these pages work so well is that they are incredibly relevant to the user. A recruiter looking for CRM software would much rather land on a dedicated page built for recruitment agencies than a generic CRM page. And that's exactly why these pages tend to rank easily and convert really well. In fact, we used the same approach with our CV builder product at Standout CV. We created hundreds of job-specific CV template landing pages, and they attracted thousands of high-intent visitors every day. And my favorite thing about these pages is just how easy they are to scale. Once you've got a template that works, you can roll it out across dozens of industries and start compounding your traffic quite quickly. Page 5 is use case pages. These pages target people who are searching for a specific capability rather than the whole product. Xero has created this page targeting automated invoicing software. Not the most exciting keyword, but incredibly lucrative. It attracts around 2,600 monthly visitors and is worth more than £230,000 in customer LTV. These pages are another guaranteed revenue driver because the visitor wants to solve a very painful problem. They're not just looking for accounting software, they're looking for accounting software that automates invoicing. That's a very different type of search, and it's often the more valuable one, because the more specific the problem, the closer the person usually is to taking action. And these pages can often be much easier to rank than broad product keywords because you're focusing on a single use case rather than trying to rank for mega competitive category keywords. The key is to build landing pages around those pain points and show users how your products can solve them, because nobody is searching for automated invoicing software at 10 o'clock on Friday night for fun. They have a real problem and they're probably ready to pay for a solution. Most SaaS companies don't need lots of content. They just need a bit more of the right content. And these 5 pages are a great place to start. But knowing which pages to create is only half the battle. You still need to find the right keywords, create engaging content, and get it ranking. So if you want to learn the pretty simple 3-step SEO process that we use to attract millions of visitors and convert over 20,000 of them into paying customers, then I'd recommend watching this video next.